Okay guys, hello and welcome back. Today is going to be a glorious day because I finally have bought myself a new flip over fish house. Now, I used to have a hub, the Clam Jason Mitchell X5000. Great hub, it's 5-sided, nice and big, kept me warm, but portability of it's kind of not the greatest because you got to set it up and take it down every time and put it in a sled, haul it everywhere, which is essentially the same thing I'm doing with this, except everything stays in the sled. I don't have to do anything else now. So we've also picked up a brand new ice auger it's the high fax runners for underneath to protect the bottom. We have the travel cover. We got a Big Buddy heater, and then I've also got a couple miscellaneous things in the Shields bag. I got clam lights for it because everything was 20% off when I was at Shields today. So I was like, well, whatever, we'll pick it up. We're going to go ahead and unbox all this and assemble it, which is going to take a little bit of time. Bear with me. Now we have all of them marked and drilled. So now what we got to do is lay them in here, take our drill, and we'll go ahead and drill one hole and then work our way all the way down installing this in. So let's get started. It's recommended you do it with 2 people, but that's not always the case. So one person it is. Installing this high fax, after you get everything pre-drilled and marked out and drilled and assembled, it takes, I don't know, about an hour, maybe a little longer, maybe a little less, depending if you have 2 people. If you have 2 people, it really helps on assembly, but I'm out here by myself right now. Yeah, it was just me. Anyways, let's flip this over, and now we can start actually assembling the fish house itself, because I believe that's all we're putting on here for now. Later down the road, I do want to get the tow hitch, so that'll just bolt onto the front. I just got to drill a couple holes for that. Not too worried about it, but we'll flip it over and we'll start working on the next section. Looks like we got a hardware kit of self-drilling fasteners. That will be for a chair. That will also be for a chair. No idea what that is. Looks like I got a warranty here right now. Okay, well, we'll do the warranty later, because who even does the warranty right away? Wow, there sure is a lot of items to this thing. All right, well, let's get started. All right, well, they want me to start with the seats, so that's what we're gonna do. 1. I really underestimated how much work this actually was gonna be. I'm about 2.5 hours in now, and I literally have the seats attached. All right guys, it's day 2 building this fish house. It kind of ran a little late last night. It was about midnight by the time I got to this point. They estimate 1 to 2 hours to build this. Well, that wasn't including the high fax. That was just to assemble the whole sled and fish house, whatever. I'm like 3 hours into it by myself. So maybe if I had 2 people, it might be 2 hours tops, but with 1 person, I couldn't do it 2 hours. Anyways, we're gonna get started. We gotta assemble all the poles now. That shouldn't be too bad, should be pretty straightforward. To increase the longevity of my canvas and not only the structural integrity of it, I'm going to take some athletic tape and wrap this joint on both sides on each pole. That way, when the fabric does rub rub up against this. It's not going to prematurely wear through the fabric, and that way I wouldn't have to replace it sooner. So $5 to hopefully save, I don't know, $300 maybe the fabric cost. I'm not sure. But it's a little precaution you can take that will save, extend the life of your canvas per se. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I believe we can put all these together. And just like that, this is like 10 times smoother. Like there's no rough edge here anymore. The fabric should slide over that nice and smooth. So we just got to do it 7 more times and we're ready to go. Let's install our pole. Okay, now just like that, we have all of our poles installed. Now we can go ahead, we'll rotate this a little bit, install the spreader poles, install the canvas. Doing that by yourself, not recommended. It's not fun. A lot more work than it looked. I now have to go through, lock the whole canvas to the frame. If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go do that now. All right, we're officially finished with this project. Well, at least setting up the fish house. Instructions are pretty good. I think they could be revised a little bit, just to show a little bit better detail because some of the pictures are really small and kind of hard to see. It is possible to build this with one person. I would strongly recommend you do it with somebody else because it is kind of a pain in the butt to get the canvas stretched up and over the frame itself. That was particularly a challenge. So if you can, do it with 2 people. If not, it is doable with one person. Now, could you do the 2800 with one person? Probably. It's just going to take a little bit more work because it is a little bit bigger. However, this 2600 will be perfect for what I need. So with that said, we're going to shift directions just a little bit. Like I said, I got the new ice auger to put together, and then we'll be ready for ice fishing this year. So let's get into that. Okay, so like I said, this is the Eskimo E40 8-inch steel ice auger. Comes with a 4 amp hour battery, I believe. Should have reverse on it. Looks like they packaged it very well. A lot of styrofoam to protect it, which is good to see. And looks like we have 3 parts. So maybe this will go together super smooth, and maybe it won't. Guess we'll see. So we got a battery. We got the auger itself, and then we got the motor here. So it does have reverse. Reverse function switch is right here. So this is forward, that's reverse. So that'll be handy. As far as instructions go, all right. Well, give me 1 minute. Okay, so there are no instructions for this because it's pretty straightforward. Kind of feel stupid now that I was looking for instructions, but there is a Allen head, socket head, whatever you want to call it, screw in here that we're just going to take out. And I think we want to maybe leave that on there. I don't know. We'll leave that on there for now. I think the image shows. Yeah, we'll leave it on there. Image shows that it's on there, so we'll just leave it on. Now we take our auger head itself, set it in there. And then we will get this all lined up and ready to. It's actually, first impressions, this thing is really nice. I know in some augers you will have a little bit of play from left to right between the motor head itself and the shaft. This, once you tighten that set screw, that is locked in place. Like, it does not move at all. So let's get the battery plugged in. Should have came with the charger. I'm gonna have to search for that. Unless there's a certain way to charge this battery, I don't know. Anyways, looks like there is a lock on it as well, so we can lock this battery in place. We got a little bit of charge on it, about half battery. Get it locked in, and we'll see. Oh, wow. Very smooth. That thing is actually moving quite along. Now, whether you like Ion, whether you like Eskimo, it really is all personal preference. The only reason why I went with the Eskimo was, one, not only price, but two, the specs on the Ion Alpha and Eskimo E40 were very similar. I mean, everything was all the same except for how many inches per charge you can cut and how many inches per second you can cut. Now, the Eskimo comes in at 3.2 inches per second, and the Ion Alpha came in at like 3.4. So a little bit faster. They're managing the capacity with the battery a little bit better through their motor. Now, these are both sold under the same company. So it's possible they could just be using an old generation of Ion motors in here. I don't know. I haven't opened them up. I personally don't care. And the inches per charge, now that's where it's a big difference. So if you like to go ice fishing 24/7 and you are hole hopping constantly, I'd probably recommend the Ion Alpha, just because you can go up to 2,000 inches per charge. Now, if you're drilling through 2,000 inches of ice in one day, props to you, man. Awesome. Get out there, have fun. As for me, I'm going to be just your casual fisherman. I'm not going to be drilling that many holes. I'll probably drill like 10 or 15 at max. And honestly, this one I think it was going to be about $200 less, because I got it on sale for $400 plus a free battery. That's an extra $200. Just made more sense to me. So I will do a detailed, in-depth review of this later down the road, so you guys can get a feel for that, and maybe even compare it to, I know my brother, he's got an Ion Gen 1, and my dad has a Ion Gen 3. I don't think it's the Alpha, and they are both steel augers, so we can do a little bit of a comparison and see which one is better between the three augers. As for now, though, I believe everything is ready for ice fishing. So next time you see me, we're going to be out in the fish house trying to get some fish. Okay, update. Silly me did not look underneath the other piece of styrofoam. There's a couple extra parts. Look, it even came with a wrench to put this thing together instead. No, I'm digging through my toolbox trying to find it. So I'll show you what we got. This is obviously the charger itself. Pretty small, compact. It gives you 4 indicating lights, solid red for power, flashing red for temperature error, green, flashing green for charging, and solid green for fully charged. So looks like the indicator light's right there. I'm going to get my batteries charged up inside. No reason for the batteries to sit out here and stay cold all the time. So we're going to put that on. And then there is also a little piece of plastic here, and that's so when you rest it on the ground, you're not damaging up the aluminum base plate that everything's mounted to. So garbage. All right. So this is sold under Ardisam, which owns Earthquake, Ion, Eskimo, Taz, Yardbird, River's Edge, Yutrax, Gazelle Tents, Castle Pellet Stoves, Barronett Blinds, and Fusion Drill Powered Tools. So looks like I got to register my warranty. I got to do that on my fish house as well. Should be a pretty simple process, but for now, we're going to put this one piece on, and then we are 100% ready to go for the year. So, give me 5 minutes. Okay, now we're ready to go. So, it was just a piece of plastic that kind of goes around the battery a little bit. You can consider it a battery cover. I'm probably going to use it to, well, I guess it's a battery protector. That looks like what it is. This is the Eskimo E40 8-inch steel.